Hi, Wilfred. Thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure to be here today. If you go back to March, we were able to run several thousand tests per week. We're now able to run 165,000 tests per day. Unfortunately, the demand for tests continues to increase. This week, our average turnaround time for patients in a hospital is about a day to a day and a half. For people outside of hospitals, we're currently running on average of 3 to 5 days.
So how do we fix that? How do we get that to be a shorter time period? Because, you know, the epidemiologists say that doesn't cut it. You can't quarantine for that many days until you find out whether you've tested positive.
Yeah, so Sarah, there's no doubt we have to continue to increase capacity, and we're continuing to increase capacity every single week over week. When we first launched, we had 3 principles. The first principle was build as much capacity as fast as you can to get the best turnaround time as possible, irrespective of what that costs. The problem is that the number of tests being asked to be performed each week is growing faster than the capacity that we can build, but we will continue to work hard every day, all day, to increase that capacity.
Adam, does the fall bring with it a big further spike in demand for tests, whether that's people going back to work or back to school?
Yeah, so I believe we have to be really thoughtful as we go into the fall. I am concerned about it, but we have to look at it holistically. We need people to wear masks, to socially be distant, and to continue to have good hygiene. We have to do tests, and we have to have the turnaround time in 2 to 3 days to have effective ability to track and trace people that are sick or have been exposed to people. And then we have to continue to find ways to find new treatments and to find vaccines that ultimately will work. We're involved in each of those aspects of the plan.
Adam, I just don't understand why 5 months into this, we cannot get testing right in this country. It's been a problem from day one, and maybe we have more demand and we're just testing more than everyone else. But why are other countries able to figure this out and we're not?
You know, if you look at the number of tests that we're running around the country, it's extremely significant number of tests. And LabCorp alone at 165,000 a day, that's more than 1 million tests per week. The issue is that the demand is even higher than that in this country. I believe some states, as they opened, did an extraordinarily good job. If you look at New York or New Jersey, for example, we need all states to ensure that we're doing everything we can to better control the virus. If we can do that, then we'll be able to have the tests that we need. In this country, we're running on average 600,000 tests per day across all of the testing that's being done. That's a significant number.
You know, it totally is. I get it. But I guess what I'm getting at, Adam, is should this be taken over by the federal government? Should they play a more central role and not leave it up to the states? And when it comes to money and organization of testing in this country so that it can be more efficient and happen faster and more effectively?
You know, I believe that the FDA has done a terrific job of approving EUAs and approving them faster than I've ever seen before. I think the CDC has done a good job providing guidelines to tell who should be tested and in what priority. I think that there is a way to open up the country and to get kids back to school in the fall. But I think it takes 4 things. 1, social distancing and masks. 2, accurate testing that we can turn around faster than today. 3, treatments, and 4, vaccines. If we pull those things together, I believe we can beat this virus and we can get the country up and running again in a very significant way.
I know you guys perform, Adam, both molecular and antibody tests. Where do you think the nation is at the moment in terms of herd immunity?
Yeah, so if you look at the molecular tests and the antibody tests, I would say we're not close to herd immunity yet. Even with the positivity rate of about 10% across the United States, you have to reach much higher levels of exposure. That's why, in my opinion, there's nothing more important than trying to reduce the incidence of the disease, not plan to get to herd mentality, but reduce it now through the right precautions and get treatments and vaccines as soon as possible.